Good morning and welcome to Slaughterhouse-Times with Joey Henze,
Miles Layden.
Mel Cross.
Today we'll be talking about the outlook on war in the book Slaughterhouse-5, as well as the glass half full type of outlook that the hobo has on life and his situation in the prison camp, as well as Billy's outlook on life and his views on death. All right, so before we actually start talking about the content for today's episode, I want to ask Melvin a quick question. We try to keep our music related to the topics that we're talking about. So, can you explain that song? I mean, we're going to be talking about revenge and war here, but I don't see the meaning in that song.
Well, the song by Linkin Park, in the end, it definitely relates to the whole book, the whole novel in particular, because Billy Pilgrim, throughout the novel so far, he's just been going about life careless. He doesn't care about the war, and it's as if what he does in the war won't affect the outcome of it. So I definitely picked that song because it reminds me of Billy himself. He doesn't care.
Okay, I mean, at least you got a good explanation. I still don't know if I agree, but I'll take the explanation. So, how about the war in this novel? There's so many different opinions. Billy can't stand the war. You got people like Roland Weary who just absolutely love war. They're almost built for it, except obviously when they're in battle, he doesn't know what he's doing. But how do you think that's a commentary on life? Because there's definitely people who are ready for war, and that's sort of their mentality. But I'm not sure that everyone's built that way. Because you look at Billy, he's just some scrawny kid from the middle of nowhere. He doesn't know what he's doing.
Well, again, look at all the fighting that Worry tries to do and all the, his views on the war and how he's so enthusiastic and happy about fighting, but he dies in the end. It doesn't matter. It's dark humor, but it's true. It doesn't really matter at the end. Mostly everyone dies in this book.
So it goes.
Yeah, so it goes. But yeah, that's pretty much why I chose to pick that song. It applies to Billy, Worry, a lot of people, even the Englishmen, because they're all just excited about war or
don't care at all.
Don't care at all, yeah, pretty much.
Okay, so Miles, I want to ask you this because I know it sort of relates to your life. Lazaro, he's very motivated, I guess you could say, about revenge, and Weary, he claims, I don't know if it's his death that he blames Billy for, but whatever it is, he wants Lazaro to avenge him and to kill Billy, and Lazaro promises to Weary that he will. So, how do you feel about revenge, and do you think, I know Lazaro says that revenge is the sweetest thing in life. What do you have to say?
I feel like they shouldn't really care that much about revenge in this and care more about the war at hand against the Nazis. Instead, they're just trying to kill their own men because one guy made one mistake, whereas the Nazis are just killing a bunch of people.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's pretty funny because there's one scene earlier in the novel, chapter 2 or 3, and the German soldiers find Weary and Billy, and they find it hilarious that Weary is trying to beat up Billy, and it's why would you try to kill your own soldier, your own teammate, when you're trying to fight this war? But I don't know. I guess that's what it's like.
Yeah.
Yeah, Melvin?
Well, me personally, I think it's ironic because World War II is about revenge. It's Hitler's revenge on what happened in World War I. So the whole idea of revenge is the whole reason for the Second World War. So that's pretty prevalent in both war and the nature of war. It's revenge, pretty much.
All right. So I definitely agree with that. That's Hitler. I mean, he wants to make the United States, Britain, France pay for all the repercussions from the First World War, but do you agree with it? I mean, obviously in this case, it's to the extreme, but is revenge overall a good thing?
Definitely not, because look what it got Hitler. All the glory he had during the war,
Death.
it it ended with him dying, with him killing himself, with his people suffering for what what he did, and raging war on the nations, that killing innocent people, millions of Jews dying, the concentration camps. After he died, Germany went downhill pretty much. So, like I said, in the end, it doesn't even matter. Like, all the revenge he tried to get just didn't help him at all.
All right, so before we take a quick break, today's Martin Luther King Day, and he would definitely be against revenge. I mean, that's what he preached. He was against all the violent protests. He tried to walk all the peaceful protests, the walking protests, and yet people would strike out at him with violence. So his form of revenge, if you want to call it that, was peaceful, and it eventually won over in the civil rights movement. That's sort of how it came to start. So, I mean, I guess revenge sometimes is the right way to go, but how do you go about it in a civil way?
So it depends on the situation, the time period. Because think about it. In World War II, war was the thing. Even after World War II, war was a big thing. It's always promoted as being something that's cool. And so going about revenge back then for Hitler was starting another war. Today, it's more of a manipulative thing. People might think about war.
War will always exist, though.
Yeah, pretty much.
Where like peaceful protests are rare, I guess, and so when they happen, they work more because it doesn't get people pissed off,
Exactly.
because they're not destroying anything. Where it's you invade a country, they're not gonna side with you because you're destroying their country.
Yeah, definitely.
But if you just do a
Sounds like
peaceful
Poland.
peaceful petition or something, they might have sympathy for you since you're not wrecking anything that's theirs.
All right, I mean, I don't know if I totally agree with everything being said there, but we'll take a quick break.
You step off the straight and narrow and you don't know where you are. Use the needle of your compass to sew up your broken heart. As directions from a genie in a bottle of Jim Beam, and she lies to you. That's when you learn the truth. If you're going through hell, keep on going, don't slow down. If you're scared, don't show it. You might get out, for the devil even knows you're there.
Back to Slaughterhouse-Times, we have probably the most important segment coming up for you. So in chapter 3 and 4, Billy meets a hobo on the train on the way to his first prison cell, and this hobo, he winds up talking with him a little bit, and he keeps saying, "I've been in worse places than this. This ain't so bad." And he explains, well, he doesn't explain, but he just mentions his situations and how this really, he's not sad about this. He's not mad about this. He's just grateful that this isn't the worst situation that he's been in. So with this type of glass half full personality, I gotta ask you, Miles, could you ever do this? Is this something that fits you, this type of personality?
Well, a lot of the prisoners of war and stuff just had to keep on looking forward to being freed and keep on appreciating the little things just to get through their day. And the hobo, he's had worse times, so he's he's not afraid of what's going on because it could always be worse. So it keeps him happy and motivates him to go on through life. Like the Englishman in chapter 4, he becomes friends with his captors, the Germans, and tries to enjoy as much as he could of prison camp. Just trying to get through and having a glass half full, because if he just gave up, Billy kind of just gave up and wanted to die, then his will to live would be diminished, and easier for him just to give up and be miserable the rest of his life, even after like he's freed. Like Billy always wants to die after he's freed from prison and just never wants to be saved. But
Yeah. So I definitely agree. I want to go back real quick to what you said about that's what gets them through the war. I definitely agree that's true because war is such a demanding and physical and mentally demanding experience. So I think they need to have that hopeful outlook. But is that how you go about just your day-to-day things? Like if you have something,
like something bad happens, just like don't care. And
how about
just keep on going.
something as simple as just like a test?
If I fail a test, I just like don't really care. And just keep on
So
going.
so you're like,
Like,
yeah,
get the next one.
I've had things worse.
Yeah.
Do better on the next one.
Yeah.
You're that type of way. Melvin, how about you?
It's BS. No, I'm not even joking. That's really BS because it's basically sugarcoating the fact that you're going through hell right now, and you should just ignore that and keep pushing forward. No, you should figure out why you're going through hell and fix it.
Then you have no
and
way to
fix
get
it.
out if like you just like give up. Then if you're going through hell, you have to like keep on pushing to get out of it. You can't just lay down and die.
Yeah, I'm with Miles on this one. I mean, life. There's so many hard situations, and sometimes the only thing that can get you through is hope. And for these soldiers, they're already